This is Marcy from Spirit Source at 1033 Main. And the next card in our series, Tarot for Beginners, is the Magician. Now in the Fool card, we saw potential and ideas that had not yet become manifest. But in this card, we see the beginning of manifestation. And in fact, we also see that in addition to the tools he has on the table, which are representative symbols of each of the suits of the tarot. So we have the wand and the sword and the cup and a pentacle. And in addition to that, the hand extended up shows that he also has to rely on the universe, on the world of spirit. And he has to apply what he knows about that and bring that into the use of the tools on the table in order to achieve his objective. So the tools on the table means that he has everything he needs. He just needs to know how and when to use them. And that is also a reminder of the intuitive part of this card. Now I want to show you some of the other interpretations of the Magician. So when we go to the Gaian Tarot, the Magician is, he also has the tools at hand. They're all represented down here. And these are not the cup and sword and pentacle and wand, but these are representative of the elements because each suit is associated with an element. So you have the water element and metal and earth and fire represented there. And he's playing on the drum because in his use of the drum, he is able to create a vibration that he brings to his manifestation, and this is his technique. And he's able to let his creativity flow through his hands and into the drumming, which will then make use of the elements at hand, his tools, to create. Now, there's also in the John Holland Psychic Tarot, his Magician is called awareness. Because in order to use those tools at hand, you have to bring a level of awareness, a level of understanding to the use of your tools in order to get where you want to go. And I think that's a brilliant interpretation. And again, it conveys the concept of spiritual understanding that flows out into the material world. Now, we also have in the Magician, when we think of a magician, we think of them a little bit playing a trick on us because we think of sleight of hand or, how did he do that? That's not possible. He's able to achieve the impossible, and we have to ask ourselves, did he actually make magic? Or, and this is the Housewives Tarot, is he a little bit of a slick kind of maneuverer who tricked us? Or is there deception involved? And with the Magician card, we have to ask ourselves, and here she shows him as a slick salesman, who might not always tell us quite the truth. But we do need to ask ourselves in interpreting the Magician, is everything as it seems? Is what I perceive actually what is? Because we're still in that territory between perception and conception and idea and reality and the hard world that we can touch and experience. So we have to ask ourselves if everything is as it seems. And in this deck, the Tarot of the New Vision, rather than look from outside into the card, things have been turned around. I love this because now you can see from the perspective inside the card looking out. And what you see is that the Magician does have a crowd he's playing to. He's a little bit putting on a show. And so there is always room for the element of deception. I tend to see it that way when the card comes up reversed. But when I see the Magician reversed, I want to know if it's a question of whether perhaps the person for whom I'm reading has the tools they need but doesn't know what to do with them. Or is there something in the situation that is being misrepresented or misunderstood, misinterpreted? And so in that situation, I tend to think that this is not a good time to move forward in the pursuit of your goals because you're not ready. You don't yet have the knowledge that you need or know how to bring things about the way that you want them to, so they might not go well. Or you're not yet seeing the truth of the situation, or someone is exerting a deceptive influence on the situation. When I see the card upright, I know that you have everything you need. You might have to tweak a little bit how to bring it about. I think also when I see this card upright, this is a good time to work with law of attraction, with affirmations, and with what you already know about the world that you're dealing in. So if it's your career, you already know the environment that you're working with, and you have everything you need to move forward, for example. So that's the Magician. I hope that you'll take some time to study it and work with that card and see what your instinctive reaction is to that card, and you'll develop your own comfortable interpretation. The Magician does a little bit shift, in my experience, with the meaning of the card, with how it's interacting with the other cards in the reading. Really, all tarot is that way. And so when we understand the energy of a card, within a reading, we have to look at that energy in terms of what the other cards are indicating as well. So thank you for watching, and have a great day.